Hello and welcome to LTC Heroes Live. We are here at HIMSS 22. I have been walking around the trade show floor and I'm excited. I'm excited to talk to Paul. He is the CEO and co-founder of etherFAX. Tell me a little bit, Paul, why you come to HIMSS every year, why it was important for you to be here this year.
Yeah. First and foremost, it was important for us to be at HIMSS this year, just to get out and have that camaraderie with people and meet our clients, our awesome customers, and seeing what's really going on in the healthcare industry, especially coming out of this pandemic. So that's really why it was important for us to be here this year.
What are you presenting to prospects and clients about your product that's most exciting?
Yeah, great question. I always refer to fax as the cockroach of technology. I mean, here we are, in the year 22, and we're still talking about it, and it is still the primary form of communication for patient healthcare. And there's a lot of a lot of downsides to fax. It's slow, it's antiquated, but the upsides is that it's widely accepted. To get patient information from point A to point B, it's easy. We're really excited because we kind of took this backwards approach of we understand that interoperability and speed of patient care is extremely important, but we also understand that, customers aren't going to change their current workflow, especially, in the midst of a pandemic. So we're super excited because we're bridging the gap between fax, unstructured data, and structured data to achieve that interoperability.
I want to pause on that because just for anyone who's watching this in live or in the future, I came over and you all gave me a demonstration, and when you specifically said the phrase "we're taking unstructured and turning it into structured," it made a lot of sense. And you guys showed me when you put a fax into a machine and then what it comes out to and how it starts to interpret it. Can you tell me exactly what etherFAX does and is as close to long-term care as you can?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in long-term care. I think, it's well known in the industry that long-term care is the last to adopt any new technology, especially within healthcare. When we started etherFAX, we started out as this fax server company, and this was back in 2009, and we've morphed into this unbelievable company that transmits over 1 billion pages a year in healthcare. And we have some very large long-term care facilities that utilize etherFAX. What we showed you prior of taking that unstructured data, turn it in results in faster patient care, immediately. Being able to get that information into the EMR and service the patient, that speaks volumes, because prior to what etherFAX is doing, and I'll mention this, out of the thousands of vendors that are here, etherFAX is the only one that has this capability. Prior to that, a fax would come in, somebody would take that fax, they'd look at it, they'd key in that information into the EMR. That can take upwards of 15, 20 minutes, if not more. Now imagine thousands of those pages coming in. So we're enabling and delivering and helping organizations, long-term care facilities, deliver better patient care.
I specifically have heard this pain point come up, what you just said, that referral sometimes takes an extra 20 minutes longer. All that information comes in. They're missing information that's going to affect potentially their reimbursements.
Yep.
And what you do is you essentially codify that so that the EMR, the EHR can understand that and create a better care plan.
Absolutely. I mean, there's always a financial impact, when the process is slow. There's always a financial impact. But more important, there's a big impact that could be, detrimental to the patient. Needing medication, needing to be referred to a separate doctor, maybe it's a discharge. The faster that we can get information, financial outcome is better, and patient outcome is, far exceeds what it would be.
Paul, I'm interested in your background and how you got to etherFAX. But before we go down that road, I want to ask you what it is you're doing in your role today as CEO co-founder in 2022. I'm sure the product team's working on this. What are you working on? Are you in sales? Are you in strategy? Are you in partnerships?
I often talk to my wife about this all the time. I really miss the selling side of things. My role is more to oversee and lead the strategic vision of the company along with my other two co-founders. But I try to get involved in the sales as much as possible. I'm a people person. I love that part of it. I do miss it, and my sales team, tries to keep me at bay. But it's the future plans of the company. I mean, we have changed ourselves. We have gone through this complete metamorphosis of just being this fax company to delivering unstructured data in structured format, regardless of the technology that you're using. I mean, we have created interoperability for disparate systems where companies like Google and Microsoft and our own government had tried, they continue to try to do this and yet fail.
You mentioned when I came by this morning that you all, in theory, are integrated with any EHR in long-term care if they're integrated with Direct Trust.
Yes.
So Scott Stewie, I believe, the president of Direct Trust, was the second or third interview that I ever did on long-term care and LTC Heroes. So you can imagine how far over my head it was talking to a guru like that. So when you told me that you're integrated with Direct Trust, I was excited. How long has etherFAX been around? And tell me a little bit about the backstory. How did you come about creating the company?
Yeah, well, really quick to Scott Stewie. I believe he's coming over later today. And we're looking forward to talking with him.
Tell him the guy in pink scrubs is looking for him.
Okay, I will. We started the company in 2009. And we started the company expecting to fail. But we said, if we're going to fail, let's fail fast, right? We didn't, when I went to the other co-founder and I went to our other partner, we told them what, we wanted to do. He had a colorful choice of words for us. He's like, who still faxes? I remember our first deal was like 2.5 million pages a month. And that customer is still our customer today, fast forward. We had this crazy concept. We had to re-educate the market. We had to re-educate the resellers. It was like swimming up a waterfall. And everybody said, you can't do it. Mm-hmm. There's no way that you're going to be able to do what you guys are looking to do and be successful. And here we are, fast forward, and look at us today.
Thanks for the background story. I want to get to know you a little bit more personally. Some of these questions will be a little bit uncomfortable, and I'll go rapid. So if you can't handle them, just say pass. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Let's go with what person or persons are you most excited to talk to at HIMSS this week?
I'll be honest. Anyone that's smarter than me, and I always say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. I'm just really excited to see HIMSS back to. I mean, look at this. I mean, there are people here. We're talking with each other. We're learning. We're hearing what it's like coming out of the pandemic. Where is healthcare falling short? What does it need? So anybody who's willing to share that information, I'm all ears.
You were that way when I showed up this morning, so I can attest to that. Let's start off with what one or two books have greatly influenced your life?
I would have to say both. It was more than three now. I think Jim Collins' Good to Great. I believe that was the author. And Inside Google, actually, I thought was also a great book.
I haven't read that one.
Very, very good.
I get a lot of good book recommendations from interviewing executives like yourselves. Let's start with this one. In the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your professional life?
This pandemic has really taught me a lot. It's taught me how to become a better leader. I would sit on these. I'm a dad first. I have 4 kids, 4 beautiful kids. I'm a dad first. And when this pandemic hit, I realized that it's not just me that it's hitting. It's hitting our entire company, our entire world. Everybody just became homeschool teachers. Everybody's going through the same scheduling issues that we're going through. So I took a step back I didn't expect much out of the team. If they weren't on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but they're doing work at 9 o'clock at night, I understood it. All of the founders in the company understood that. So culture to us was really important. So, I've learned to listen more. I've learned to become more compassionate. I've learned to put myself in my staff's shoes. And being in my shoes as well. We're all parents, so that's really helped me a lot.
Let's move on to what is one experience, personal or professional, that you thought was really bad, but it turned out really good?
I always joked. All right. I mean, since we're going with these rapid questions, I'm divorced. I have a great relationship with my ex-wife, and I always say that I would never get married again. So when I met my new wife, I was like, oh, this is probably a really bad idea, but it happened to be one of the best decisions that I made in life.
Paul, thank you so much for joining me on LTC Heroes Live here at HIMSS. It was a pleasure to meet you and hear what you all are doing at etherFAX.
Likewise. Thank you very much for having me.
See you all. Thank you for following.